Yo, what up, this is your boy King Series straight from Busy Home Beat, and in today's video I've made an Afrobeat here and I'm going to show you how I mix this Afrobeat to sound great, nice and professional. So without wasting my time, let's just get into the video. I've been getting a whole lot of questions about how I do mix my beats over here. I don't do too much of it, but let me just play the beat for you to listen to how it sounds. Then I'll just explain certain things to you, how I was able to balance it and make it sound great and nice like this. Okay, let's go. KSBEATZ-KAMA. Okay, so that's all the beat, and I believe you can hear that everything sounds great, nice and sweet. Okay, so let me just loop here and just go to the mixer and show you one or two things. So there's the trick here. I always tell you right from the beginning, you have to make sure you pick great and correct sound, right? Sound which are actually not disturbing. It depends on the genre that you're actually doing. It is an Afrobeat, so you can hear whatever is going on here. So pick the right sound from scratch. That's the main thing. Try not to just pick any sound, then after that you just try to use EQ or any effect to get the best out of it. No, make sure you pick the right sound, then after that you just shape a whole lot of things, shape one or two things that needed to be shaped. You get it? So you can see this. Let me just start with start with this one. So you can see the effect on it. I just have EQ on it, trying to put some frequencies out, taking some frequencies out of it. So then I have my reverb on it, and the reverb, I'm not putting too much of it. You can see it here. Yes. So if I take the effects from it here, this is what we have, the dry sound. And mind you, what I did first is gain staging. I always tell you, after picking the right sound, the next thing is gain staging. You get it? When you are playing the beat, sometimes I do gain stages here before I even come to the mixer and try to balance it more. So you can see from this knob here, this is the volume knob for FL Studio users. Yes. So you can see I've actually touched the volume knob over here, right? Yes, before it even came to the mixer here. So for the trick, what I'm actually doing for the gain staging is for this snare over here, I'm making sure it is hitting around the minus 12 dB here. Yes, and the kick is hitting around minus 9 dB. Yeah, because the kick is the strongest part of this genre here, Afrobeat. So then this one is also supporting the most important ones. Yeah, so if I'm supposed to play it with the kick, then the shakers is actually just supporting. You get it? So I'm just gain staging it. I pick the right sound, then after that I gain stage it. Then before I try to see if there is any effect that I'm supposed to use to treat any sound, then I go ahead and use it. If not, and I'm just trying to design any sound, there's difference between sound designing and mixing. Mixing is just cleaning things and making it sound good, and by designing is just trying to change the sound from the way it is actually sounding to a different one. Yeah, you get it? So designing is different from mixing. So with the shakers and everything, this is how it sounds. Even with this, I've taken the effect on this snare from it, and it's actually sounding right. It's sounding great and nice. So if I'm supposed to put the effect on it, I just put it on it just to separate certain frequencies from it, because when I play all of them, I felt that it was crashing a little bit, so I have to just do some separation with the EQ and the reverb to push it back a little bit so that I can have some spaces inside. So I'm just activating the effect and listen to how it sounds. So let me go ahead and add my percussion. So I added this percussion. What I did here is I pan it to the left 13%, and this percussion too, I pan it to the left yes, right 9%, and this one to the right 12%, so that I can have some spaces between my mixes here. So let me play it all of them together. So you can hear that everything is actually playing nice and cool. Yes. I've not added any effect to it, with the exception of my snare, that I'm having this EQ and the reverb on it. You get it? Aside that, everything is actually sounding nice. Stop trying to put any sound here, then you are trying to use EQ, compressor, or any other plugins to treat it. Yeah, so start right from the scratch, correct sound picking, gain staging very well. Then if you want to use any other plugin effect to treat anything, then you go ahead and you, rather than trying to pick any sound and trying to make it sound good with effect. Nah, it doesn't work that way. There's no right or wrongs to it, but the basic principles: pick the right sound, gain stage it well, pan, and yes, then the rest is just on your own. So let me add the tones to it and listen to how it sounds. Okay, so this is my bass, and this is a bass from Nexus, yes, sine bass. So what I did is I just put this bass on it to get it heavy as I wanted it to be. So if I take this bass from it, this is how it sounds. So it is actually giving it a little bit of weight rather than before how it was sounding. And what I did is I sidechain it to this. I sidechain the kick to the bass so that when the kick is actually playing, it will be able to pass through rather than the bass overshadowing the kick. And if you want to know how to sidechain, that's what I did. So I selected the kick here. I came here, then I right click on this, sidechain to this track, so to the bass. Then after that I put my limiter on it. Then I came to this part, compressor. I right click on this, you can see sidechain here. I right click on it, select the kick, then I have to use the threshold, the knee, and the ratio to actually balance it to the way I want it to sound. So with this on it, this is how it sounds. So you can hear the kick and you can hear the bass too also playing. So when the bass start to play, it gives a way for the kick to come inside. Yes. So now this is what we are having now. So let me just start and bring in my tunes. So with this, you can see if I even take the effect from it, listen to how it sounds. So it sounds nice and clean, but because I played some low ends for this melody over here, the chorus, that's why I caught the lows and the highs a little bit from it, and I put a reverb to it so that it would actually have some spaces around it. You get it? And I push the separation knob around this part around 50%. So it's like putting a stereo imager on it, right, rather than merging it for it to be in the middle. So I wanted it to spread around. Yeah, so 50% with the reverb and everything. So with the effect, and the stereo separation on it, you can see it down here. This is how it sounds. And I have this tone also here. What I'm doing here is I'm having EQ on it, cutting the low ends and some of the highs. It's not compulsory to use all these effects. It just depends on how you want it to sound, how you want to feel it. Yes, don't just copy this and just try to do anything on it. So after that, I'm having this reverb on it, Fruity Convolver. I like the way it sounds, so I push the wet around -40. Then I cut the low ends. Okay, this time I didn't cut the low ends, so but the stereo image, as in the stereo side, I separated it around 19%. So let me just mute this sound and listen to how this one sounds. And let me just take the effect on it and listen to the dry one. So you can hear that this low ends is actually crashing with the bass. Listen to it well. You can hear it. So the EQ is actually taking those low ends from there without having a problem with the bass. Okay, so that's what I did over there. Then the next sound, this one, I just pan it and EQ'd the low ends here. For sound, I'm panning and putting the stereo image, not the stereo image, but making sure that I'm giving some stereo effects on it, because I want to have some spaces for it, because I'm going to sing to it or rap to it. So I'm going to have to get some spaces around it so that the vocal can actually come inside and also have a place to stay, so that whenever I'm doing the vocal mixing with the beat, everything will balance, rather than just throwing everything in the middle for the vocals to actually be fighting with the other frequencies. You understand what I mean? Yes. So try to have some separation around your sound, your panning. These little things make your sound wide, big and heavy. You get it? Yes. Not about compressing and doing a whole lot of things that you don't even understand why you are doing that. So understand why you are putting certain things and doing. Why I'm doing this is I'm panning it so that I can have some separation or some spaces around my sounds over here. So with this sound on it, I just pan it 40% to the left and listen to how it sounds. So when the vocal comes inside, it can actually be in the middle and just have a free space without you stressing yourself, and it can actually cut through the mix simple. So, and I have this guitar also there, which is also most of the time people want to hear all their sounds, so they just bring everything up just like that. No, it doesn't work that way. What I'm having here is I pan this one to the left 32%, then I use EQ to cut the lows and some of the highs, then a Fruity Convolver, which is a reverb on it, and I'm putting -35 dB of reverb wet on it. Then I cut the lows of it. So with this on it, this how the guitar also sounds. Very nice and clean. You can hear it. Yes. So let me just bring the other sounds here, which is not actually playing. So this one, I pan it to the right 50% just to get some separation for the mix, and I push it way down, the volume. I brought it way down. So this is what I was doing. I was doing this just for sound design, and it wasn't for any mixing. You get it? I just cut this highs and for sound design to get a different sound. So if I solo this one alone, this is how it sound with the effect on it, and I will just deactivate the effect. And let me just take the effect on it and listen to how it sounds. So you can see it have some highs, and so I just wanted to design it and make it look like it is dark inside the mix. That's why I was using the EQ to cut that, and I like the way it sounded when I did that. Okay, then the rest of the sound I think is this sound over here. This guy. So I'm just using compressor to tighten certain sound up, and the EQ to get some of the lows and the highs out of the way. So what I did over here is, first of all, the sound selection was good, then the gain staging went in well, then the other effect is just to give it some separation, you get it, panning left and right. Not all my sounds, as I always tell you, not all the sound that I do pan left and right, but if it is necessary, you pan them and bring some of the volumes of the tones, the ones which are actually supporting the beat, just bring them down. Don't actually let everything be on top and you want to hear everything, you get it. Yes, so I think that's what I did over here. So if you listen to it, the sound is clean. For the roots and everything, you know how it goes. Okay, so that's all. If you want to learn anything, I think I have to make a beat and mix it right from the scratch for you guys to see how I do everything. So boy can see straight from Busy Won't Beat. Yes, and I'm out.